So, Mr. Vucek, as a rapporteur on Croatia, do you think that Croatia is prepared for EU membership?
Of course, Croatia is prepared for the EU membership, because if it wasn't prepared, there wouldn't be a fixed date. The date is 1st of July. So Croatia is prepared. Of course, it still has to do, some work before July the 1st, but overall the country is prepared.
And do you think it is better prepared than the first post-communist wave in 2004?
It's hard to say. I think all the countries that they are joining now, since 2004, we can say that they are better prepared than, let's say, Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Because, looking back to 1970s, 1980s, so everybody who wanted to join the EU was accepted, but sometimes without, doing the necessary homework. So with the enlargement 2004, 2007, and now, of course, Croatia this year, so the conditions were set, what the new members have to fulfill in terms of political democracy, functioning of the market economy, human rights, and so on. So we can say that these countries are better prepared than, let's say, Greece 30 years ago.
Yes, but given the problems with Bulgaria and Romania and that very special mechanism they have, do you think that the fears that Croatia might be the next Bulgaria and Romania are justified?
Of course, with every new enlargement, the experience is made. After 2004, especially 2007, Romania, Bulgaria, so the more emphasis, more stress is put on the functioning of the public administration, what we understand under rule of law, justice, fight against corruption. So in this sense, we can say that Croatia is, answering your previous question, that Croatia perhaps is better prepared than some of the countries which were admitted in 2004.
Yes, but I see in the amendments to your draft resolution that your colleague Monica Macovei has proposed an amendment calling for the imposition of a monitoring mechanism just like the one for Bulgaria and Romania. Do you think that such an idea could be some kind of a guarantee, or is it reliable?
I'm convinced that this monitoring at this stage is not necessary, and that's also why I'm not proposing that. We can ask why Monica Macovei is proposing that. Maybe, so that she wants to see another country in the same category like Romania or Bulgaria. But, what I want to achieve, and I think that's also the position of the Commission, that at this moment there is no need for further monitoring. But of course, Croatia has to do the homework. Also, what we have to think about, and especially people in Croatia, both in the government, in local administrations and so on, is that these reforms are not only meant till 1st of July of this year, because it's in interest of Croatia that the state works properly, that the rule of law is applied, also that Croatia can use to maximum extent the money that will be available. So for this reason, it's in vital interest of Croatia to make sure that everything will work well, not only before July the 1st, but also after.
And do you think that it's possible Monica Macovei's proposal to be adopted?
We will be discussing all those proposals, all those amendments this week. I will, look at all of them. So we will see. But as I said, I don't agree with this amendment.
Do you see any obstacle that could prevent Croatia from joining on the 1st of July?
Theoretically, of course, Croatia has to do the homework, but also 27 member states have to ratify. We have ratification in I think 22 or 23 so far. We still have to go we still have to finish or complete the work by those 4 countries. So theoretically, yes, there could be an obstacle. I hope in practice it won't happen.
How do you see the efforts that Croatia and Slovenia are now investing to solve the bilateral issues they have between themselves?
Of course, it's in interest of Croatia, but also what I'm telling to our Slovene friends, that it's also in interest of Slovenia, that there are no hiccups, there are no problems as far as the ratification is concerned. Because I think it's a good opportunity for both countries to show maturity to your own citizens, but also to Europe, that both countries are mature enough when there is a problem to sit down, talk about it, find a solution, find a compromise, and do the work. So there is still chance that this will be done.
Do you think that the requirement for all candidate countries to have solved their regional and bilateral issues before membership is kind of compromised, because obviously Slovenia has joined the EU without having solved its bilateral issues with other countries in the region?
I mean, there is a fear in many European capitals that these bilateral issues, especially in the Balkans, can hinder the next or the further enlargement. So it's in interest of every country, every single country in the Balkans, to work on those issues even before the negotiations start or before the enlargement. So that's where we are as far as the bilateral issues are concerned, because nobody wants to repeat this situation. And by the way, is not the case only between Croatia and Slovenia. If we take Slovenia as an example, in 2003, the Italians were try to use that opportunity and bring some of the unresolved bilateral issue from the past, or part of the German political spectrum, try to do the same vis-a-vis my own country, the Czech Republic. But luckily, both countries, Italy, Germany, play a very constructive role, and I also believe that Slovenia will do the same.
And finally, Croatia has been through this succession all alone. It was different because Bulgaria and Romania were together. They could compete with each other. The 10 member states in the 2004, they had company as well. Do you think that this kind of deprived Croatia of some boost? And how do you think it would feel joining a crisis-hit European Union, being in crisis itself?
I personally don't think that this is the disadvantage of Croatia, because Croatia, there was no pressure, as it was the case in the Big Bang enlargement 2004, because even before 2004 there were debates, how many countries will join. Will it be 1, 2, 3, 5? At the end it was 10 countries. So Croatia didn't go through this process. That means that Croatia had to fulfill all the requirements on its own. Mm-hmm. No country was waiting for Croatia. Croatia is not waiting for any other country. So everything is being judged on Croatia's merit. So we have to congratulate Croatia to this achievement.
Okay, thank you very much for this interview and for the time you spent with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.